to the channel if you're new. It's Sahara. So today we are going to be testing out some blush and brush dupes. I know I'm going to have a tremendous time, that's not the right word, saying that in this video. Brush, blush, bronzer, like what? I'm also going to be leaving the links down to all of these products that I mentioned down below. I will also pop up my coupon code, which by the way, on the site, I know that it's only supposed to work for new users, but if you use it within the app, sometimes it brings up coupon codes. I actually tried it on somebody else's account and they showed me that it brought up coupon codes. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started on this video. So again, I have the bucket of blushes and brushes. That's gonna be so hard for me to say in this video. I can tell it now. This is how many blushes I got. From a person that did not like blushes, to go from that to this and want more is beyond. I'm going to put it on my Lazy Susan so you guys can see these things up close, because again, in my last video my camera was acting up where it wasn't trying to adjust, and I ain't got time for that. Okay, like it's gonna start getting hot with these studio lights. This is the Hood Emoji with coconut milk and aloe extract. This is an all over dewy tint in the shade number 2. So this is supposed to be like a Huda Beauty type of dupe. Next one I have is the Beauty Glaze. By the way, I love the packaging. Some of these I still have like the unicarton, I think that's what it's called, packaging for it, so I will also show that. This is in the shade Hope. This is the Velvet Liquid Blush, and I like that they have Rare Beauty dupes because I personally don't support Selena, so I'm not buying from her brand. So I like that they have the option. If you can't afford a brand or you don't support that brand, you can still buy those dupes because, you know, it is what it is. Then I have the Julia Pop Velvet Mousse Liquid Blush in the shade number 1. It reminds me of Glossier, and they have a bunch of shades in all of these blushes that I'm mentioning, but I picked up the ones that spoke to me the most. This set right here, the 9 set from Poudre. This is their cream blush, and I think that this is supposed to be a dupe for the Jones Road blushes. The last ones I have are 3 of these Hood Emoji. So again, Hood Emoji has their own type of brand. I got mine in the shade 1, 2, and 3. The 4th one that they had looked like a lighter version of this shade right here that I have in number 3. There's no point in getting that one and it don't end up showing up. For some brush dupes that I have before I get to some honorable mentions, this huge powder puff, and this is supposed to be a dupe for the Trigwell puffs because you guys know those went viral for being really big. This feels velvety. When I say like velvety smooth, like they feel smoother than those other powder puffs I was using, like the smaller ones. Next set, it's not a set, but I bought it kind of for that purpose. Like all of these brushes are sold separately, just so you guys get it. These 3 brushes right here are Rare Beauty dupes. That flat angle that I love, that I always use for like blush and angle. This one is most likely good for like cream, bronzer, blush, foundation. This one would be good for concealer, and this one right here is a little bit of an angle, and I think that that one right there a little bit more of like a diamond shaped angle, good for foundation. Hourglass dupes, and I am obsessed. This is by the brand Mang, the number 51670. This would be good for like foundation or cream bronzer, and this brush, double-sided, is the number 51672, and this would be good for like setting powder on this side, or maybe bronzer if it's not too big, and this side would be good for bronzer, blush, contour, something like that, but powder versions. I think this is supposed to be a dupe for the Makeup by Mario. This is a dual-ended side as well, double-ended, dual-ended, whatever. It has more of like that oval type of shape on both sides, which would be really good for cream bronzer. And then the last brush dupe, I think I said last brush dupe for that, but the last one I have right here is the Woko number 71. This says that it is the Pro Concealer Brush. It has that angle shape as well. It looks like excellent quality, and I think that this is supposed to be a Sephora dupe, either Lancome or Sephora, because it reminds me of both Lancome and Sephora, but maybe Sephora. But this one would be really good for blending out concealer, priming the eyes, or cleaning up the brows, which I did buy it to clean up the brows, but I already did my eye makeup off camera. I just wanted to focus this solely on the blush and then products I'm going to use to help me use these brushes so we can see how these work. Honorable mentions, just want to go through before I forget, because I know after I do all of this makeup and put it on, the Cooling Water Jelly Tint Tint blush. This is supposed to be a dupe for that new Milk Makeup blush, the Blush Duo, which has a cream side and a powder side. And this is supposed to be a dupe for the Cover FX. I thought this was Juvia's place at first, but I was like, the cream and the powder reminds me of Patrick Ta ColourPop blushes. You guys know those heart-shaped blushes that are in that bulky round packaging. This one looks more flat, so that's why I'm thinking that it is the Charlotte Tilbury dupes. And I was actually going to buy a couple of these from a different brand that was selling it in different packaging, but nobody was swatching the shades, and sometimes the shades are not exact on the site that you get. So please, people, review these products so we can see the shades. I think they're duping Merit Beauty because I do have that blush in that shade. The next ones that we have are those Juvia's Place blush duos. These are both powders, and then it comes with a mirror. So the next blush dupes we have are the Pixie Stick dupe liquid blush. This is the color changing blush oil. It's a dupe for that Youthforia blush. The next blush dupes they have are P. Louise, and by the way, they also had some blush dupes for Mitchell, made by Mitchell's brand, but those had discontinued. I mentioned that because he did partner with P. Louise on a something that they did before. These are not blushes, but they are highlighter quads, and these are supposed to be dupes for the Dior quads. Dior, why did I say Dior? The Dior quads. Next blush slash bronzer highlighter trios that we have are dupes for the Patrick Star. So you have Patrick Ta and you have Patrick Star. A Fenty Beauty blush dupe, and then the last one we have is a powder blush dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. So let's start off with the Hudamoji blush right here in the shade number 2. So it just squeezes out. It's creamy and it's kind of thick, dewy tint, kind of like the blushes slash highlighters are what I got from Temu. These are the Tinted Moisturizer Cream Blush and Highlighters by ML Smile, and they have like that wet feeling to them. This brush right here, honestly, it matches my tank top pretty well. Apply this. So for a lot of tinted products, most people would, dang, that's pigmented. And I just squeezed out so much on my hand. Blends out very well, not patchy. Oh, all of that I squeezed out, that was just downright stupid. But it does have that wet, cooling feeling. It's not like cooling as in you put it on your lips and it has like that cooling effect. Like it just kind of feels wet and like a breeze. Beauty Glaze one in the shade Hope. This brush applicator, 1, 2, 3 dots. This one actually looked more orange on the website, but it's more of a pinky tone in person. So that's why I said that swatches are always helpful. Hopefully my camera doesn't act up, but can you see how pink that is? They both kind of have like a tacky feeling, so yeah, you still will need to set this, but love how they both look. I actually like this side a little bit better because it's a little bit more like toned down. Since this side is more orange, I'm going to wipe the pink side off right quick. Make sure this is dried down. Apply the Julia Pop, just so we can also get an idea of the difference of the orange tones. This applicator is flat, which I actually would have preferred it to be like a doe foot. 1, 2, 3. You guys, a bug bit me. Dang, you can see that. A bug bit me right here. These bugs are something different. Like these bugs be acting brand new. It's kind of blending out like a tint. Is that a little patchy? That stuff right here to clean up my face. Let's just apply it right here just to see, is it patchy? You'd be like, what the heck is she applying blush down here for? But just like a test to see, was it applying that thing that made it that way? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, oh shoot. I'm not a big fan of this one because I was wondering, I was like, could it be that I applied? No, it's not to be yours. Maybe it'll apply different, you never know, over foundation. These brushes are like really soaking up the product. What I did was I applied like a second layer of foundation just to see, does this brush right here blend it out better? And I prefer this blush for oh my gosh, for foundation rather than this one, because this one is a little bit looser. The brushes, oh my gosh, look at, because the brush is so light around here, look at how dirty it's getting it. That is so upsetting. Like, I'm gonna have to clean these brushes like right away. No letting them sitting around like I usually do. I'm gonna use this Beauty Glaze Concealer shade Medium 405. And you already know that because you're using a brush, it's gonna keep majority of the coverage. And the shape of it is like really, really good. Probably no matter where you apply it at, because it has like that angle to it. So let me go back in with my foundation brush. So yeah, as you guys can see, it definitely maintained a lot, oh my gosh, a lot of that coverage under the eyes. Let me go back in with this foundation brush. Cream bronzer, and this is the little jar of bronzer. This brush right here would be great. See, look at that. Let me see, can both of them, oh yeah, both of them could fit in here. Look at that. And then of course you can always like turn the brush to help blend it upward. So even when blending cream bronzer, you still kind of want to stick in the hollows when applying it, because you can always, you know, blend upwards. This brush and whatever may be left on it, let's go ahead and mush it together right here. I'm not going to add any more product. I don't want the cream blush to really take away from the powder blush. See, that's a good amount. I'm going to use both of these blushes, or oh my gosh, these powders from Temu. I'm going to start with this Us Like one, since it has more of a pink tone in the shade W02. I get to use the powder puff. Oh my gosh, this is really big, and this powder has a net right here. Actually, let me shake some out. I know if I go to press down on it, I'm gonna break that net like I did the other one. Okay, so it is big, but of course you can always like squeeze it like this to get it under the eye. And these powders, by the way, are very, very finely milled, so they do not dry the under eye out. They just like lightly set, so it literally feels like air under my eyes. And then all over the face, high side powder in the shade 02. I'm gonna use the looser side of this powder brush. Oh yeah, that like lightly set, so I like this for setting powder. For powder bronzer, I do have these Mathic ones. I don't know if I'm gonna use a highlighter today. Probably not, but this is the bronzer in the shade 06. The smaller side for applying this bronzer. And this bronzer does have a more neutral tone, but I really, really love it. Oh yeah, this is great for applying powder bronzer. Even though these oh my gosh, these brushes are more tapered, but when they touch the skin, they become a little bit more fluffy. So it may keep it in a certain area, but it can kind of disperse it as you're blending. Contour palette, Letto Piate palette from Temu. I'm gonna use this shade right here, and I'm gonna use this small brush to see, can I use that as like an angled brush. It may be a little too wide. Yeah, that's a little too wide for contour on the nose. So I think this would probably be good for like eyes, blending around the eye area. Clean it off a little bit and tap this on the side of my nose. Oh yeah, so that's good to clean up the side of your nose though. I'm gonna apply the highlighter in this palette down my nose as well. Let's apply one on one side and one on the other side. I think because this one is like a classic pink in the shade number 2. I'm not gonna apply this on the cheeks today because again it's pink, so let's just swatch it. Oh, it feels very, very creamy. It says blusher. Ooh, look at how pigmented that is. They both look like a peachy tone. This one was actually supposed to look more orange on a site. Anyway, let's stop talking about it and be about it. Go back in with this brush right here. I'm gonna clean it off a little bit. Number 1. And there's not a lot of kick back or kick up in here. Well, that's pretty. And it's not patchy. Number 3, and I'm gonna flip the brush on the other side. So this side is a little bit more of an orange tone, but they're still both a peachy type of shade. Okay, so my camera shut off on me, but I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup off camera for this lip combo that I want to show you guys right quick. Hessie Beauty lip liner. The shade, oh, number 5. Kiss lipstick in the shade Ivory Oat, and it is a pink pale. Like literally one swipe is all you need. Then I'm gonna go in with this new lip gloss that I got from Temu. I actually just did a short on it. I don't even know how that is spelled, but yeah, it's in a shade number, oh, Sensory Party in a shade number 2. I didn't even know that the name was at the bottom. This is a nice little pink. We still got the blush. These don't have a name, but if you buy them separately, they do have a number on the back of them, but these don't because they were sold together in this. They spell out blush, B-L-U-S-S-H. This is how they look. It just comes in like this little jar. Feel very, very creamy. So this is a pale shade. I think I'm gonna swatch it like this. Probably should have shaved my arm. I feel like I just made a mess on my arm. How they look in the jar is not exactly how it's gonna look, because it does look a little bit warmer tone in the jar. Like I'm trying to swatch it like I'm wearing a watch. Make sure it focuses on this. Oh, these feel thick. The third shade down looks. On the second row, we have this one. That is how the fourth one looks. This shade would be like the perfect transition into the fall. So there's the next shade. This is the pale, I mean not pale, bright bubblegum Barbie pink. Oh my gosh, I cannot swatch. This is the one that I first applied when Temu sent me stuff to review. Last row, okay, so that's how the next one looks. These look pretty with those swatches. Second to last is this purple. This purple, this is the type that will stain. See how it's not patchy? That's how you know that these are excellent quality, because look at that. And you know purples. I don't know what's gonna hate me worse, my arm or my finger, because last shade in the bunch we have, looks like it is a red. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. And then there is the red. Oh, my back is killing me. So I hope you guys kind of get an idea of how they look. If a shade like this is too pale for your skin tone and a shade like this is too deep for it, you can mix these shades together. That is how the purple looks. Take like the palest one right here, mix it together. See how I just made that look a little bit like a lighter violet? And even this shade that I mixed a little bit of the pink into that purple, you can see it's a little bit lighter as well. Just to wrap up, my hair is looking crazy today. All of these are excellent quality. They all blend out very, very well. And also, as for this powder puff, obsessed. Get your hands on this before it sells out and you can't get it no more. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Okay, so it didn't leave like too much of a tint behind. Just a lot on a paper towel, but I still wasn't swatching it on my face.